This week, we join Vanessa, Scott, Cora, and of course Oliver, better known as the Adventure Detour, as they visit Camp Margaritaville, a fantastic RV family destination in Auburndale, Florida. Then, being a writer and tech specialist for RV publications for 30 years, Jeff Johnston knows a thing or two about reviewing RVs. This week, Jeff turns his skills into reviewing his own 4-year-old Palomino truck camper. One thing for sure, he won't hesitate in telling you the good, bad, and ugly of any RV or component. These stories and more on this week's RVing Today TV. Closed and Spanish captioning where available is sponsored by Go Power. Located about an hour southwest of Orlando, Camp Margaritaville RV Resort is situated on 66 acres off the Polk Parkway next to Lake Myrtle. Now, let's join Scott, Vanessa, along with Cora and Oliver as they enjoy a few days at this great RV destination.
We just pulled into one of our favorite campgrounds in Florida. Can you guess which one it is? I'll give you some hints. Multiple pools, live music, delicious cocktails, great campsites. I'll give you one more hint. I blew out my flip-flop. Did you guess it? That's right. We're at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida, and it's way more than any campground you've ever seen. In fact, it's more like a luxury RV resort. Let's go check it out. One of the reasons why we love Camp Margaritaville so much are the campsites. And these aren't just everyday campsites that you're going to see at any old RV park. They are immaculately landscaped and beautiful. In fact, they even have campsites with your own private tiki. And that's usually what we prefer, the tiki campsite. You have your own bar, you have your own television, you have your own fan, you have tiki lights. I mean, it's a party at your campsite. But if that's not your speed, there's also regular back-in and pull-through campsites, as well as really nice cabins you can rent. We've stayed in the cabins a few times as well, and they are always perfectly clean, and they even have a nice little front porch. They're great. If you have a motorhome, a great option here is the Paradise Suites. As you can see, they are gorgeously landscaped. They have a larger tiki bar that also has a fridge and is L-shaped. They have a Komodo grill, Adirondack chairs, and even a hammock for your enjoyment. So, I mean, we're really glamping now. If you have a motorhome and you want an upgraded site, but you want to be a little bit closer to the action, check out the It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere Suites. It's similar to the Paradise Suite, but it's right next to the pool, the lake, and one of the bars. There are 2 pools and 2 bars at Camp Margaritaville, and the quieter of the 2 is the pool that's down by the lake, which is by the License to Chill bar. There's also rental cabanas for the day if you'd like a little bit of a more shady private pool experience.
Along with the 2 pools, there's lots of activities to enjoy here, as Vanessa explains.
There's no passport required to have fun at Margaritaville. Of course, there's our favorite, which is cornhole. There's also golf course that looks like a paid course. It's incredible. Besides the 2 bars, the 2 pools, and the water slide, there's also live music almost daily. There's fun activities at the bar like karaoke and trivia. There's guided kids activities throughout the day in the general area, and there's even community fire pits up at night where the live music is. There's never a shortage of things to enjoy.
And when it's time to unwind and grab some food and drinks, you can always go back to your RV or choose from a couple of great places by either of the pools, like the Feeding Frenzy or the License to Chill bar, where you can also rent your own private cabana with TV. By the way, Margaritaville RV Resort is an extremely pet-friendly location with 3 dog parks, 2 dog spas, and a large dog run. By the looks of things, Oliver enjoyed his stay here also. Another nice thing is that you don't really need an RV to stay here. You can always rent one of their nice, comfortable cabins and enjoy all the fun and amenities this location has to offer.
Not only do the cabins have really cute front porches, but some of them also have their own private tiki.
Coming up after the break, we'll catch up with Jeff for a review of his Palomino truck camper. We'll be right back. If you're restoring, upgrading, or repairing your RV, there's only one name you need to know: RecPro, your one-stop location for virtually everything your RV will ever need. From furniture and appliances to air conditioners and awnings, RecPro has it all, and at great prices. Of course, there's one thing you can't buy there, and that is outstanding service. That comes free. Learn more at recpro.com.
What if you could have a simple, accurate holding tank monitoring system that works? That doesn't use probes or sensors inside the tank, is easy to install on the outside of the tank, and gives you the most accurate readings. You can. It's called Sea Level by Garnet Instruments. It's simply the best because it works. See for yourself at rvgauge.com.
Greetings, Jeff Johnston here for RVing Today Television. Back in June of 2021, we purchased this Palomino fold-down truck camper, Model 1240. Palomino is probably one of the least expensive truck campers you can buy on the market today. Now, the price of an RV is just one of the factors that determines, is it going to be a good buy for you? Are you going to be able to have fun with it? Well, 4 years now we've been using this guy, and we've had a lot of fun with it. We've also had some things that we've had to repair and take care of. And that's pretty much standard. Any new vehicle, whether it's an RV or a house or a car, is going to have bugs they have to take care of. Well, we've had our share of small bugs on this, but oddly, most of them do not pertain to what Palomino did. It's usually the outside suppliers, refrigerator, jacks for the rooftop, etc. Those are the things that have been giving us a little bit of hassle. But in the meantime, we'll give you a little walk around here and show you what has been working for us, what hasn't, and why we still think this was a really great buy. First of all, structurally, everything on this rig has been really solid. The mounts for the tie downs, the jacks, everything, the roof structure, we haven't had any kind of problems with shifting of parts or anything like that. The Torque Lift Fast Gun camper tie downs do their job with no problems. Now, this body doesn't look a whole lot like other Palomino campers you'll see on the dealer's lot. We had this picture installed by Graphics Unlimited in Bremen, Indiana. They did a great job, and it really looks nice. We think it really makes it stand out in photos. And thus far, the graphics are staying on just fine. We think it was a really great investment to be able to put this on here and make it look really kind of special. One project we had to do that wound up being a couple $1,000s was replacing the linear actuators that lift up the roof. This is no big surprise. We heard a lot of people having problems and failures with the stock jacks, sometimes when they were almost brand new. And we protected these jacks from the weather as best we could, tried to keep them dry. And when we pulled off the bottom, when two of the jacks failed, the thing was full of rust. Something's not right there. So we spent a bunch of money, got these upgraded jacks that are slower, quieter, geared better, and much better set up for being out in the weather. One part of the camper where we definitely needed to do some work is these fabric corners. Now, the factory installation here is dodgy at best, and when you look at how it all came together at the factory, how it expects to keep water out of there, I don't know, but it didn't. We had some leaks up here we had to deal with. So I came up with these fabric vinyl covers held in place with 3 pieces of Velcro, and it hangs down here so that the water coming off the top of the roof just runs off the edges. We were out in a tropical storm kind of wind for a little while over at the coast in California, and the rain was dumping on here, and they work great. If you have leaks in this general area, this sort of thing works pretty well. There's not much to talk about here on the back wall except for the pinstriping done by our friend Herb Martinez of Livermore, California. Herbie has been doing pinstriping for 40 or 50 years, and when he puts something on like this, it stays there, and it looks really good. Now over here on the business side of the camper, the Dometic refrigerator, 12 volt and propane, works great when it works, but we've already had to replace the cooling unit on it. That was a little bit of a surprise. Dometic's products have been pretty dependable up until now. And then we looked at the label and it says made in China. Well, that's cleared the smoke a little bit about why it failed early. Anyway, we got it rebuilt and it works great now. Now the items that we have not had a problem with are the Truma AquaGo water heater and the VariaHeat furnace. We love these products. The VariaHeat furnace keeps the interior completely toasty even when it's cold and rainy and drafty out and you got wind coming in off the ocean. And the water heater, boy, you cannot beat the ability to have that constant flow of unending warm water without having a reservoir in there. Now we have had a bit of a challenge with the Palomino design propane tank securement. The tank fits the compartment just fine. It's not hard to get in and out of there from a lifting standpoint, but this metal bracket that helps to hold it in place with this thumb screw, it's really difficult to fit this in here and hold the bracket open at the same time. It takes two people to be able to wrestle the thing in and out of there. This is definitely going to be replaced by something like a fabric strap with a Fastex buckle, something like that. Be a little less aggravating, a little less difficult to use. That about covers it for the exterior of the camper. Up on the roof, of course, we added the GoPower solar panels. They just lay there and charge the batteries and do what they're supposed to do. In the meantime, let's pop on inside and take a look at what we've done on the inside and how it's worked out for us. One of the items they have available as a factory option is this torque lift glow step entry stairs. I'm about 240 or 50 pounds, depending on the time of year, and this step is super strong and comfortable. Feels very reliable. We'll be back with our Palomino tour after these messages, so stay tuned to RVing Today.
Travel John holding tank deodorizer cleaners have been keeping campers happy since 1967, making it the oldest, most reliable solution for RV and marine holding tanks. Travel John packaging is attractive and easy to store for any size rig or scope of adventure. With nearly 100 years of experience, Century Chemical Corp is proud to offer outdoor enthusiasts across the world products that work anywhere, anytime. To learn more, call the number on your screen or visit centurychemical.com.
Welcome back to RVing Today. It's eye-opening to take a close look after 4 years with the new RV. So let's continue the tour of our Palomino Model 1240 fold-down camper. Okay. Welcome to our camper. Pam and I have been using this camper for about 4 years now. We've had it cross-country a couple of times, San Diego and back, from here in Oregon, down to Sacramento and that area for family visits any number of times, up in the mountains. It's worked really well, and combined with our 2021 Ram 2500 truck, it's a dream to drive. And we have also figured out our how to live comfortably in a relatively small space with two people. This is not the rig that you would want to buy if you want to bring 6 people in to have a card game, obviously, but for 2 of us, it works great. One of the first things that we did when we got it was there is a long, skinny table with one post that fits here. We threw that out after about the first trip because the post wobbles, the table is long and wobbles. Nothing short of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich face down would stay on that table anytime you even bump it or even look at the darn thing. So we got it out of here, and it's been working fine ever since. One of the things we have to figure out on a rig like this is where to keep things and store things so they're handy and yet they're not kind of cluttered in the way when we're using it. So when we're traveling, up here on the bed, there's a little bit of space between the bed and the ceiling. So we have our folding camp chairs, camp table, the tire table, which works really well. And those all stay up here when we're moving in transit. Take them out when we get there, put the bags in the front seat of the truck, and we're set up. We enjoy the factory stock mattress. We find it comfortable and terrific for a good night's sleep. Among our accessories we've added the GoPower charge controller and battery monitor for the solar charging panels and the pair of 6-volt AGM batteries we have here in the utility bay. That's been working flawlessly, absolutely no problems at all. This little AM/FM radio has one USB port, which isn't enough for charging phones and accessories. So we went to RecPro and used one of their little 2-port USB charging plug accessories. Easy to install, wires right into the 12-volt system. It works great. Now, another item we added during the solar installation was this GoPower 2,000-watt inverter. This gives us 2,000 watts of power on a couple of dedicated outlets for charging camera batteries and that sort of thing. And we've already mentioned the fact that we've had some challenges with our Dometic refrigerator. Once again, take a look at the label in there, made in China. That explains a lot. We got about 3 years out of it before the vent fan on the back, the cooling fan, went out. We had to have that replaced. And then the entire cooling unit on the back of the fridge went out. Had to have that replaced too. That was a couple $1,000s worth of fun. Luckily, our guys at George Sutton RV here in Eugene, Oregon did a fantastic job. And the new cooling unit from a company out in Indiana, I believe, that rebuilds them, does a great job. And it cools it faster and better than the original equipment did. Maybe that's no surprise. Now, the hanging bags that come part of standard equipment on this Palomino have done a good job for us. This one is the one we use as a pantry. Got breakfast food and miscellaneous things in there. And the other two hanging bags on the right and left side, one is for Pam, one is for me. And those seem to contain most of the clothes we need for an average RV campout. This is also a replacement stove that we had to install. The original one had a defect in the regulator that didn't allow the flames to burn anywhere above about 3,000 feet elevation. Well, that's not terribly high, and we do go up to 8,000 or 9,000 feet on modest trips around here through the mountains. So we had to buy a new unit to be able to replace that. That's the sort of thing that happens, I suppose. Everything else has been working fine. The sink, we've added our little storage containers over here to be able to hold our accessories. When they installed the VariHeat furnace, obviously they needed a different outlet than was stock on the camper. So they put the one circular outlet right here, has vanes so we can direct the hot air up, down, wherever it needs to go. It's controlled by a little panel over on the wall there that also controls the AquaGo water heater. And these items have been working so well. We love this furnace because it doesn't wake you up when it kicks in the morning or in the middle of the night. And it has several heat levels and fan levels so that it only needs to put out as much heat as it needs to maintain as opposed to bringing it up to temperature. It's an expensive furnace, but boy, is it worth it. Cabinet-type storage space is limited in this rig. There are two little cabinet doors at the foot of the bed on a really narrow compartment that we keep wine glasses and so on in. And this one is a cabinet immediately adjacent to the sink and stove, the kitchen area. It's really handy. Although we're a little bit scared every time we open it, we're never sure if something's going to shift around in transit and come piling out. So we need to pay attention to that and do a little bit of rearranging. And we also added this paper towel holder. It's low enough that when the fabric from the top folds in, when you bring the top down, it doesn't interfere with the fabric folding, and yet the fabric also holds on to this and contacts it so it doesn't allow it to unroll, as it can happen sometimes in an RV when you're on the road. This little Palomino 1240 has been pretty good to us. Yes, there are a few things that we've had to address and spend money on. For example, the Dometic refrigerator, the Suburban stove, and so on. And we've had to replace the water pump now 2 times. Why that goes out, I don't know. It's a good brand, but that's what happens these days with RVs. You don't need to spend $40,000 or $50,000 or a lot more in order to have fun with an RV and a camper like this. We have been able to thoroughly enjoy this rig. We've got trips planned coming up in the near future, as long as we can get over the mountain passes and the snow. And we look forward to all of our upcoming adventures with our Palomino. For more information about Palomino campers, log on to our website at rvingtoday.tv.
Want more RVing today? Then visit rvingtoday.tv. Besides our weekly show and extended segments, you'll find additional stories and videos along with insightful information on what's new and what's happening around the world in RVing. From luxury RVs to unique camper vans, and from RVing with pets to RVing with kids. You'll find it all and more in rvingtoday.tv.
Preparing for an outdoor adventure? With Stack Pads, you can level your RV even on the most uneven surfaces. Our Stack Pads prevent wobbling, making your RV more stable on all types of ground. Stack the pads to adjust the height as needed, each adding 1.5 inches. Our Stack Pads are 12 by 12 inches, covering more ground contact and ensuring stability. They also work well in extreme temperatures, and it can support more than 30,000 pounds. Make the most of your RV experience with Snap Pads.
Welcome to Rollin' On TV's Paws on Board. I'm Dr. Fitz, and this is Scooby. Have you ever been exposed to poison ivy? For some people, it can cause debilitating blisters and sores, enough to make you want to avoid anything green for quite a while. Did you know that dogs can also suffer from the effects of the plant? Due to their fur, most dogs have no side effects after coming into contact with poison ivy. However, dogs with allergic skin conditions, short fur, or just short dogs in general, have a higher risk of exposure and a reaction. Come here, bud. Good boy. Dogs and humans both react to the oils of the plant. Dogs may develop a mild skin rash or even progress to open blisters. Your pet may also be extremely itchy. If your pet has a mild reaction to the plant, keeping the area clean with a gentle soap and water can be helpful. If that rash does not go away, or if it progresses to blisters, your pet should be seen by a veterinarian. They may need steroids to reduce itch and irritation, and even antibiotics if there's a skin infection. Places you may want to check your pet for a reaction are their feet. Make sure to check between their toes and paw pads, their belly and groin areas if the plant came into contact from below, and even their neck and chin. While they're sniffing the ground, they could have also come into contact with the plant that way. If your pet does not react, this does not mean that the danger is over. Pets can actually carry oil from the plant in their fur and expose you to the oils when you snuggle them that evening. A great way to avoid this is to keep your dog leashed at campgrounds and on trails. This way, your dog is always nearby and you can prevent them from coming into contact with unknown plants. If you are unsure if your pet has contacted poison ivy, the best thing to do is to bathe your pet. Use lukewarm, soapy water to remove the oils from their fur. You may want to wash their collar or leash as well. Identifying poison ivy can be somewhat difficult. I grew up with the saying, leaves of 3, let it be. But primarily look for thin stems with clusters of 3 leaves. Poison ivy can climb and be ivy-like or even appear as a small bush or shrub. When in doubt, avoid the plant and wash anything that may have contacted it. For more information about traveling safely with your pets, visit rollinontv.com. Tune in next time for more pet health information. I'm Dr. Fitz. This is Scooby. Thanks for watching Paws on Board.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show. And for more information on anything you saw on the show, along with additional stories, news, and contests, visit our website at rvingtoday.tv. This has been another fun production.